You're watching Headbangers Lifestyle. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Lilo, and my guest today, let me pronounce it correctly, is Juuso, right?
You got it.
Thanks. He's the drummer from Swallowthesun, and they are about to release a new studio album, Moonflowers. It's going to be out 19th. So it's really soon, 19th of November. Congratulations with the album, first of all.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's out on Friday indeed. So
yes, so that's really exciting, I guess, for everybody to finally have it out. I guess you have been working on it for quite a while now.
Well, it's been ready for quite a while, so
yeah.
Of course, it's like a relief to get it out there.
Yeah, yeah. How do you feel about the album, actually, that now that you have probably heard it in its entirety as an end result? I mean, working on an album, then you're very much into it. But when it's done and you listen back to it, how do you feel about the album?
I think right after you finished something, I think most musicians can agree that you kind of hate it since you've been hearing it too much. But of course, it's kind of, you still have, or I have this objective way of looking at it like a piece of work. So I think I can really appreciate it more like in a year or so. It always takes a little bit time to get used to that.
Yeah.
But of course, it's a great album. Go buy it.
Of course, I heard it.
Yeah.
It sounds fantastic. Really, really intense, actually, and it's such a journey, actually, to dive into it. And what do you think the face of the band, and maybe also the band members as individuals, does the album represent, or is it too fresh to make that conclusion?
You mean represent in what way?
Can you? Yeah, the phase that the band is in, where you are now at your really creative point, or whatever it can be.
Well, the funny thing is that this album wasn't even supposed to happen actually this fast. There was supposed to be, a long 20th anniversary tour and such other things, but then everybody knows what's been going on for the past 2 years. So then there was this point that, okay, we can't play live, we can't really do anything, but hey, we can record if we want. Unfortunately, Juha had worked on some new music. So then I really liked that this album process was pretty relaxed because we didn't have, really tight schedules to make it happen, to record it. So it was kind of pleasant, actually, to make such a heavy album. Even the topics are heavy and it's melancholy all the way and stuff like that. But the process was sort of, maybe you had a little bit more time to think what you're doing. So, yeah.
Yeah. So is it then different that you get in a different mood since you have all that time and it's more relaxed? Has it any effect on the outcome, you think?
I think that kind of situation can only have good effects on the end result, because you don't have rush. You don't have any rush, so then you have the ability to kind of just when you're listening to demos and you are doing your own or composing your own parts and stuff like that, you are more in there, in the mood. You are more in the mood, if you can say that. But like it definitely is a good thing, like always. I think anybody would agree like who makes albums. So yeah.
And was it also obvious where this whole journey supposed to go during that creative process, or was it really the frame was there and you guys knew exactly where to go with this album?
Yeah, nowadays it's kind of even this is my kind of third Swallow the Sun album, but I kind of get Juha's writing style pretty easily. It doesn't take that much effort to get what we are after. And also when you know that there's going to be a lot of real string instruments, for example, you already get this kind of picture in your head that what it's gonna be. And yeah, I would say it's a natural thing already for most in the band. I think most people will agree with me in the band.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And since it's quite heavy topics there, and it's a personal journey of the guitarist in many ways, Juuso. How do you prepare your drum parts? How do you manage to get those feelings, the intensity and the intention of the songs with your drum parts? Do you pay certain attention to that, how you are recording or how you come up with it?
Yes, of course.
How do you do that?
You have to, well, you have to, first of all, you have to know a little bit something about the topic. You know, I always like to know what's the topic of the song. I don't have to know all the lyrics or the punchlines, or I just want to know a little bit what's happening there. So that already makes, you know, it will, you know, sculpt what you're gonna do. It has always been like that for me. The lyrics topic, it helps a lot, but in a doom band in general, it's pretty obvious that as a drummer there's a lot of room to ruin everything for everybody else.
Yeah,
you have to be able to try to think about what kind of emotional input you are trying to kind of put out there, you know. Even it's only hitting rhythm, it's a really simple thing, but you still have to somehow, you absolutely cannot think drumming in a doom band, you know, through your technical abilities or something like that. It's just not, it's not wise. It will sound like shit, most likely, if you do that. But yeah, now I forgot the question already.
Well, how do you put, let's say, how do you translate such personal journey into your drumming, into your drum style or parts that you record?
Yeah, well, yeah, like I said, the lyrical topic and then the main melodies are really important to know before.
Yeah.
So it kind of, it will, then after that, I think it's only natural, you know, if you listen to, if you are even a little bit aware, let's say, how that band sounds, then you already have sort of this mold you're gonna use.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I can't just play jazz and samba there, you know. It's pretty.
No, of course not. Yeah. Do you try to put something of yourself in it as well? Like, of course, it's a band effort, but you need to play a certain style and mood here. But how do you squeeze in your personality, so to speak, in this whole thing?
I think that's like a for every musician, it's the whole span of your whole career. You are evolving, like since you start. So it's every time you make an album, it's kind of also kind of a document of where you are as a player as well. But in this kind of band, I think the sound, you have to think about what kind of sound you're going to record a lot, what kind of cymbals you are using, and other drum nerd stuff, which I won't get into too much now. But like, let's say the personality comes also because I'm really glad that Juha is not a drummer. So
he's not good at it?
Well, let's say that, no offense, Juha, but it's kind of he's a melodic, he writes melodies and lyrics and great songs and so on, but I'm glad that he doesn't have, already, every fill written, and he has only these general ideas. So I'm glad about that, because then there is room for some suggestion and some how about this and how about this, and some of them are okay and some of them are not, and so on. But yeah.
But in the end, it is a band effort. If everybody can put in their thoughts and ideas when there's this rough frame. So in the end,
yes,
band effort, yeah.
Yes, we have a drum pre-production kind of. We have to send files because he lives in Sweden and so on. But yeah, we have this file sending, and I will record stuff at my rehearsal space. And this kind of basic thing you have to do nowadays.
Yeah, true.
It's impossible to get grown people from different cities to be in the same place, for fun, let's just say.
Yeah. What kind of how do you say that? Is there a certain commitment as a band needed, and a certain level of understanding to make this kind of heavy topic albums and very personal journeys that you share?
Well, it's not obviously easy. It hasn't been easy for Juha, not the things that have happened in his life and so on. But then it of course it reflects to the people around him as well, especially us who are kind of sometimes with him for extended periods of time. But so let's say that it's not very hard to to try to get the mood right, because those the feelings are there, they are very raw, and kind of they were presented to us since years ago when all the bad things started to happen. But like it's kind of horrible to say this, but when you have those negative things happening, it's gonna be pretty honest, all the artistic input is going to be quite honest, I think, for all the musicians playing as well, not only for Juha.
Yeah. So that all the situation also takes the other band members to another level as well. With everything.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to abandon your own ego as a whatever fastest drummer in the world or something.
Yeah. So what actually has made you the drummer that you are today?
Well, interesting. I've been playing since I was 6, so I guess it's always been there. You know, I play all kinds of music. I'm a freelancer as well, not only a heavy metal doom drummer, but I do lots of things musically. And maybe in metal world it results in some kind of a little bit more dynamic way of playing, you know, not bashing as hard as you can all the time. I think that's like the main point. But the question was, what made me the drummer I am today, right?
Yeah.
So trying to educate yourself, you know, trying to be also open to all kinds of music.
Yeah.
And I think this you have to do this if you want to, let's say, be a professional or try to be a professional. Even you don't like samba, you should probably get to know it a little bit, what's happening there.
Yeah.
So I guess, let's say I'm where I am because I agreed to play some samba.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Cheers to that. So yeah, you already mentioned the string arrangements that are present on Moonflowers. There's also a bonus album recorded with this trio string, and they're called Trio NOX, right?
Yeah.
And can you tell a little bit about that? Were you involved, or was that done in another occasion, or what can you say?
Well, the trio, let's say the leader of the trio, called Helena Dumel, she's an old friend of ours. She's been she was already with us at the 70 Tons of Metal cruise, and then she was also playing on our 20th anniversary tour, and she's also worked with Solstafir and probably will work with other bands as well. But I think she and Juha had some sort of talks about Juha possibly writing some music outside Swallow the Sun. And but it resulted, since pandemic and blah blah, a new album, it resulted so that, hey, how about you just play on the album? And then we made it happen. So yeah, simple as that.
Yeah, simple as that. And what's on the bonus CD? I thought it was like an instrumental version of Moonflowers. Yeah. Is that correct?
It's this kind of, let's say, like chamber music versions. A small string ensemble playing the same songs, kind of arranged a little bit differently, but still having the same melodies, and actually the same parts were somewhat used on the album as well. So it's not like a completely different, but I think it's a new idea to make it this way, that you have these albums simultaneously released. I haven't seen anybody doing that. So
again,
that's
yeah.
I know that all the metalheads are like throwing it to the trash bin, you know, because it's kind of, well, it's, you know, it requires patience and, you know, concentration and the things that people lack nowadays. But anyway,
yeah,
I recommend everybody checking that out as well. It's something different.
Yeah. Okay, guys, check it out.
Check it out.
Check it out. So yeah, fortunately, of course, it's very hard to do some touring and gigs. I have no idea how the situation is at the moment in Finland, for instance. if it's possible to play gigs. How are you going to promote this album? Are there any options live or?
During the following months, we are going to tour like crazy people. Since on Friday we will fly to the States, and we will tour there for a month. United States and Canada, and then we have a small Christmas break, and then there's going to be 7 dates in Finland, and then in late January there's going to be a 35-date tour around Europe. So I hope that Europe thing will not fail, because I've noticed that there's some pretty bad things happening in some countries. They are going lockdowns and so, but we have to see how it's going to be. But what is for sure is that we are flying on Friday and starting the Moonflowers tour from the States. So
and are there other bands supporting, or is it only Swallow the Sun as a solo tour? Or
yes, there will be supporting bands, Abigail Williams and Wilderon. To be honest, I'm not super familiar with these bands, but so far I've been chatting with the drummers of both bands, and they are awesome. So I bet the bands are awesome too.
Yeah, I guess everybody will be happy to go out on the road, of course. So it's going to be a blast. Yeah. So
I think everybody is happy to even have a chance to try to tour. You know, if things don't work out for some reason, or somebody gets sick, then I think it's still gonna be worth the effort. We have to try.
Yeah. And the former album, actually, that was When a Shadow is Forced into the Light. That was in 2019. That one went straight to #1 in the Finnish charts, as I understood. And it was also Emma Gala nominated, kind of a Grammys thing. Was that a complete surprise for the band?
Well, I think that's the least you can expect, since no, that was cocky. But anyway, I think it was kind of surprisingly well received in Finland and in other places as well. But then it kind of it results in that you are, of course, expecting that the next album will do the same, and so on. It's kind of every time a metal record is doing well, then it's
you get spoiled.
Yeah, you get a little bit, like you're expecting it to happen again, but what can you do? It depends so many things. So let's hope that people like this. It's a little bit different, but still the same band and the same moods, kind of.
But is it important to get this kind of recognition, or you couldn't care less and it's all about the art of music?
Well, I try not to care at all. I have to, at least for me, it's kind of, you have to try not to care at all. But then if some people like it, you have to embrace it, let's say, not to be like apologize or something. But let's hope this new album is received as well. That's all I can think right now.
Yeah.
So.
And you mentioned that you're drumming since the age of 6. What would you like to say to young kids about motivation, about listening to heavy metal, do something with music? What would be your best motivation to kids to do at least something with music and go into the adventure of rock and heavy metal?
First of all, of course, go see live gigs, not only listen to from Spotify. Go see live action. You know, that's how you learn some important lessons, let's say. Then if you want to have more ideas, I would say you have to expand your listening from outside. I mean, to go outside the metal thing. At least for me, it's really important that you can't stay in that box. Otherwise it will sound like a box, you know. Doesn't sound like something interesting often. There you go, boys and girls.
Listen up. Okay, well, thank you so much. I think we covered quite some. Is there anything that you need to say? Is there anything we need to know right now?
Well, I repeat myself, the album is out on Friday on 19th. Go buy it. It's awesome. And I hope all the tours will happen. And I hope people are enthusiastic about going to live gigs. So see you on the road.
Okay, well, everybody out there, thanks so very much for tuning in here, Headbangers Lifestyle. I'm Lilo. Please come back, like, subscribe, and see you on the next one. Ciao.